The National Urban League says many people are exhausted by political noise, but still care deeply about the country's future. Its new guide, released ahead of America's 250th birthday, is meant to meet people where they are and give them practical ways to engage. Joining us to explain the thinking behind it is Marc Morial, President and CEO of the National Urban League. Marc, it's lovely to have you on the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
The National Urban League recently released a new guide tied to America's 250th anniversary. What is it? Tell me about it. And why did you think now was the time to say something about it?
Thank you for having me. Democracy is under attack in America today, and it goes without saying that as people think about participating civically, as they think about voting, the idea behind this guide is to give them 7, if you will, issues or questions that they can pose to community leaders, elected officials, candidates, and others. Also to frame conversations in town hall meetings, barbershops, beauty salons, kitchen tables, one-on-one conversations, and the like. It's called A Guide for Defending Democracy, and it's a nonpartisan civic education tool to help people participate in democracy. The 35 organizations who have promulgated this guide represent civil rights, social justice, economic opportunity, and pro-democracy organizations. And it is as broad and as varied a group as you'll ever see, and we've united because we wanted to give people a tool to help them navigate and guide the conversations we need to have today.
You recently had a convening leaders and advocates around this release. What did that gathering add to the conversation that the guide standing alone just can't quite communicate?
The convening Georgetown University's Capitol campus, I think, underscored the passion and the desire and the fight that so many have for protecting American democracy, the separation of powers, the rule of law, the commitment to individual rights and liberties, including the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom of the press. All of these are issues that excite and energize those of us who favor, love, and want to promote American democracy. So, in this instance, and at this point, this tool is available for free online at nul.org. And we encourage people to download it, go to the QR code, download it, and make it a tool that they use every day.
You talk about the passion that the folks that you convened have around this issue of protecting democracy, but a lot of Americans say they feel exhausted or disconnected from the democracy debates. How does this guide reach people who may not see themselves as activists or policy insiders?
We want to encourage people that to become tired, to become dejected in this moment is to surrender to those that want to tear down democracy. And we cannot surrender. So what I encourage those who may feel that way to do is download this guide, share it with friends, share it with family, post it on your personal social media, use it and read it and understand it. It's a nonpartisan tool. It is available and it does not skew to any political affiliation. It raises questions based on constitutional principles that are fundamental and basic to American life.
I'm speaking with Marc Morial. He's president and CEO of the National Urban League. Marc, from your perspective, what is the unique role that civil rights organizations like the National Urban League play right now in terms of strengthening democracy?
I think civil rights organizations have long been the conscience of the American nation, have long been constitutional perfecters throughout American history, and we play that role today. The Constitution is a living document. It's a set of values. It's got to be promoted. It's got to be perfected. And in this environment, we have leaders who believe they can ignore the Constitution. We have some who would tear down the Constitution. All of this is inimical to the value system that formed this country. And we're in the 250th birthday. So we got to protect American democracy, and to protect it, we've got to understand it.
Marc, the guide is organized as questions an individual can ask in various environments, but it also points to the role of community partners. Tell me who you think those partners are and how you'd like them to get involved with this project.
So at first blush, the partners are the local chapters, arms, offices, and affiliates of the 31 of us who have agreed to promulgate this guide. Secondly, I would say it is anyone, any faith-based, community-based, women's organization, business organization, anyone that really, really believes that we've got to defend democracy in these times. This is the guide. It's for you. Download it and utilize it.
You note specifically in the guide that these chapters and partners can localize and adapt the guide for community context. What does that mean in practical terms?
I mean, I think what it means in practical terms is that in every community and in every city, something specific around the challenge to American democracy may animate itself. Are you a city that's had mass layoffs because of the Doge cuts, for example? Are you a city that has been dramatically impacted by the war in Iran? Are you a city who's seen layoffs because you had large federal installations? Are you a community that has seen, if you will, the erosion of voting rights? All of these are examples of how this tool is needed. This is something to help us have the conversation with community leaders, with elected officials, with prospective elected officials.
Are you offering any training or guidance for those local officials as they might seek to have convenings around this guide?
I mean, we'll be announcing some upcoming activations and events, both online and in person, but we think the guide is fairly clear, fairly straightforward, fairly understandable. So download it, and if you want to contact us, contact us.
And as you think about where American democracy stands today, what do you and the National Urban League most want people to reflect on and act on between now and as we approach the nation's birthday?
The protection of the integrity of voting, the protection of the voting system, the protection of voting rights and fair voting rights. This, to me, is what we've got to be vigilant about. If we lose the right to vote, or if the right to vote is being diminished, or if it is taken away, then we've lost American democracy.
Will you be following up on the guide with additional convenings?
We'll have additional convenings. Stay tuned, but go to nul.org right now to get the guide.
I've been speaking with Marc Morial. He's president and CEO of the National Urban League. Marc, thank you so much for joining me.
I appreciate it.
We'll post this interview and a link to the guide at federalnewsnetwork.com/Federal Drive. Subscribe to the Federal Drive wherever you get your podcasts.